And let's do this. Hi. Hi friends, I'm Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I'm excited to be live with you. I'm excited to be talking about herpes with you. I know that's normally not something that anybody wants to talk about for obvious reasons. Let me bring this down a little bit. But I'm excited to be here with you. I hope you're all having a good day. All right, I'm going to tap the screen just to say thank you for those of you that are here with me today. Thank you for joining. If you are brand new and you're watching this and you're like, whoa, who is this woman, girl, whatever, talking about herpes? WTF? My name's Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I was diagnosed with HSV1 oral in 2003 and HSV2 genital in 2011. So I've been living with HSV for decades. I've been dealing with it for decades. I've been dealing with the understanding how to process the shame, how to process my nervous system, all sorts of awesome things. Anywho, so if you're brand new and you're like, well, what do I do here? What do I want? How do I hang out with you on your live? Go on ahead and ask your questions. I answer them in the order in which they are received, and I do my best to answer them in the order. Sometimes I'll get comments like, hey, you're not answering my question. Either I haven't gotten to it or the app has blocked it or something. So make sure you keep your questions rated G. A lot of times the app will like remove them for the safety of the community. So I don't want you to have your question removed. So let's ask it in a rated G fashion format, whatever that looks like. If you know someone that has herpes, if you know someone that's living with herpes, you know someone that is dealing with being diagnosed with herpes, please share my information with your friend, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever it is, just so that this information can get out. I started talking publicly about my diagnosis in 2017. So I've been here talking about it. I do have thousands of resources for you. And I say thousands, I literally mean thousands of resources for you, whether it's on lifewithherpes.com. Also, I do have a free 21-page ebook. It is linked for you in the bio. You can check it out. Outbreakremedies.com is the domain if you want to go there directly. It has all the information that I have accumulated since 2017, put it together in a 21-page ebook to support you living with HSV. So lots of cool stuff. Let me go through the questions in the order in which they were received. So, does herpes make your lips dry? You know, I don't believe so. But as you're saying that, I have dry lips and I have HSV, but I also live in Las Vegas. So it's dry here. I cannot live without the Secret Society SPF lip balm. It has peppermint and it has lysine in it. And this is what I use daily. I have lip liner on. It's not normally like brown, but it's for my lipstick. This is literally the best out there. This is what I launched with in 2019. So I created the Secret Society Wellness products, and I launched in 2019 with the lip balm to help keep our lips moisturized and things. Now, the question about does herpes make your lips dry? I wouldn't say that it does. It might, that I'm not aware of. I'm not sure. When you do get blisters, though, they do dry up and crust up towards the end of the blister. It's kind of icky and crusty and gooey, but that I don't think that's the same thing. Guys, I'm seeing the shares. I'm seeing the hearts. I'm going to heart you for that, so thank you. Does taking supplements reduce the risk of transmission or transmitting? It does support the reduction in outbreaks, and it does support the reduction in transmission. With that being said, here's my little asterisk or my disclosure. I'm not a doctor. I don't have, let's say, the CDC or something like that supports this. So what you're going to have to do is do your own research on PubMed, where it talks about lysine and it talks about arginine. It talks about these things that increase herpes outbreaks. So if you are taking supplements that help reduce the outbreak, help speed up the recovery, then therefore there is going to be a reduction in potential transmission. So I'm saying that all with an asterisk, so just be aware of that. On the flip side, the CDC does say that taking the antiviral reduces the transmission by 48%. So they're going to say there that that is the best way to prevent transmission to a partner. I would suggest doing your own research and you and your partner decide that what works best for the both of you. I take supplements because that's where I am in my life. That's where I feel most comfortable. That's where my husband feels most comfortable. Lysine is a non-negotiable for me. It's one that I take daily in, let me link it. Pin it. Okay, look at me go. Okay, I take this daily and this does support the prodrome. It does support the outbreaks. It speeds up recovery. At least I feel it speeds up recovery for me. There is documentation that shows that it speeds up recovery. And I believe that it does help with the reduction of outbreaks. So you're most contagious when you have outbreaks, duh, obviously, right? Because you have active viral DNA. You have exposed viral DNA. So this is going to help prevent or speed up recovery, then that's going to help that in turn. Again, do your own research and see what you feel comfortable with. By no means, that's going to be my disclosure. Do your own research and see what you feel comfortable with. But this is something that I take daily and do not mess around with. Do you throw away your lip meds after a breakout? I personally do not, but I know there's a lot of people do. I don't know. I personally do not. I don't change my toothbrush after. I don't know. I don't know why. I just go with it. You could always be like what they do in the cosmetic industry and just kind of wipe it off with some alcohol and call it a day, or like shave off the top part and call it a day if that's what you want to do. But I do not. I kind of just leave it as is. Again, it's totally up to you guys what you want to do. Again, welcome. My name's Alexandra. I'm founder of Life with Herpes. I was diagnosed with HSV1 oral in 2003 and HSV2 genital in 2011. I've been talking publicly about my diagnosis since 2017. I am here to support you. I'm here to educate. I'm here to be your friend through this. It is absolutely crushing. It is suffocating. It is devastating. It is isolating. It is one of the most difficult things that a person can go through when they are diagnosed with herpes. And so that's why I created this back in 2011. There wasn't anything out there talking about this. It was so lonely. So this is why I'm here and this is why I'm talking about it. So if you know someone that has herpes, definitely share this information with them so that your person, your friend, your lover, whoever it is, your relative can find support. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Amanda says, your videos have helped me feel better about your diagnosis. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. Like I said, it is so isolating, so I'm really excited for you to be here. Are you going to join the FHC Q&A for HSV or cure research? You know, I actually don't know about that. So how would I find that out? Please let me know. Where do you buy that? The Lysine I have pinned here in the shop. It is from Natural Cure Labs, aka Palmera Health. I do also have it all linked in my bio, but it's also right here in my shop. So this is the best thing. As far as my supplements, these are my non-negotiable supplements that I take daily. So we just talked about lysine. It's an essential amino acid. It's a protein that helps block the replication of the herpes virus. So this is something that I take daily, and it helps negate the arginine that we're consuming. Arginine is lighter fluid. It is something that fuels the herpes virus. On the flip side, I'm dropping everything. On the flip side, I have Monolaurin. Let me add that. Boom. Boom. Let me pin that. There we go. Monolaurin, which is lauric acid. It is found in human breast milk. It's also found in coconuts. And this helps disrupt or dissolve the outer shell of an HSV virus. So an HSV and other, excuse me, I'm moving all around. Enveloped viruses are HSV is enveloped. There's other viruses that are enveloped. When they're enveloped, our immune system cannot penetrate it. So think of it as like this bottle that has a shell on it. You can't penetrate it. So that would be like an enveloped virus. This helps disrupt the outer layer of enveloped viruses, which then allows our immune system to go in and do what it needs to do. So this is another non-negotiable for me, especially for immune support. And that's one of the most important things is how do we boost our immune system? How do we keep our immune system in tip-top shape? And that's going to be the best way to honestly prevent outbreaks, prevent transmission, all sorts of things. So that's going to be what we want to do. I am now going to pin and link and whatever my next non-negotiable is Andrographis. And this is something that is an herbal extract that helps with immune support and is very potent in dealing with the HSV virus. So this is something also, it is a non-negotiable for me, and I do not mess around with this either. This is something I take daily as well. So I have my 3 here. I have tried to pin them. They're in my store that are here on this app. Anyways, these are my non-negotiables that I take for helping me prevent outbreaks and also helping, help prevent the transmission to my husband. So you can buy them all here in the shop. Just reading through. As I'm close, I'm realizing I need to get my eyebrows threaded soon. Have you seen the study with mouthwash? I can't pronounce that word, cetiporidianum. That is in a laboratory and has killed the virus. I have not seen that. It doesn't surprise me. Mouthwash is pretty powerful and kills a lot of things, probably kills too many good things in our mouth as well. I have heard someone in our community and she uses Listerine on her outbreaks and she's like, that works wonders. So it does not surprise me. I feel like there's a lot of things in here, a lot of things that are natural or a lot of things that are at home that we're not even aware of that can help fight this virus. What foods do you stay away from? So I've definitely gone around and around and around. So let me just give a backup to why this question is even being asked. There are certain foods that are high in arginine that can help that trigger outbreaks in a lot of people. So there's a lot of people that will not understand, like, why am I getting outbreaks every time I eat a Snickers bar? And the reason could be the processed food, number one. It could be the sugar, number two, that lowers your immune system, or it could be the peanuts in the Snickers bar. So there are foods that are high in lysine. So nuts are arginine. There are foods that are high in arginine. Number one, nuts. Nuts are high in arginine. Peanuts are very high in arginine. Peanuts are a huge trigger for a lot of people suffering from herpes outbreaks. And I don't know why peanuts are. Maybe it's because a lot of people are allergic to peanuts or they don't realize they're allergic to peanuts, and it creates a difficult, unstable situation for our immune system, perhaps. Other things are coconut milk, coconut meat. Those are high in arginine. Chocolate's high in arginine. Other things that can maybe trigger outbreaks are alcohol use, processed food, processed white carbs, like processed bread, cookies, cakes, things like that. Those can all trigger because they're hard on our systems and they can trigger a difficult time for our immune system. I've gotten to the point where I'm a very clean eater. And so at this point, the only thing I really shy away from are peanuts, which is unfortunate because I do love peanuts. I love peanut butter. Who doesn't? But that's really, for me at this point, really all I shy away from. But again, I say that in someone like, I'm a very clean eater. I don't really have cookies and cakes and things like that. So for me, that's it. I do. So in my ebook, the 21-page ebook that is outbreakremedies.com, or it's linked for you here, you can download that, and I give a pretty detailed breakdown on arginine and lysine and why certain foods trigger and why certain foods don't. On the flip side, what are some foods to consume that are going to be really helpful? So I have all that linked for you if you want to check it out. Did someone say Listerine? Oh, look at you. I did. Stress is the worst trigger, 1000%. I just recorded a podcast yesterday with Elizabeth Kristoff. She has been on my podcast before. So if you listen to the Life with Herpes podcast, you can go find it. You can also go to my website and you can find it there as well. Elizabeth Kristoff. Anyways, she is the founder of Brain-Based Wellness. And they talk about the nervous system, and the herpes lives in our nervous system. And so it can trigger all sorts. So when stress happens, our nervous system is wreaking havoc, and therefore the HSV virus is like, hey, I'm here. Let's go. Let's talk. What's going on, right? So unfortunately, stress is the major contributor to herpes outbreaks. We talk a lot about what that does in our body, and then how can we de-stress? How can we regulate our nervous system? Do you have to take medication every time you get an outbreak? I would say, number one, talk to your doctor and see what your doctor wants for you. I'm not a doctor. I can't recommend. I can just talk about myself. So for me, when I was first diagnosed, I was on the antiviral for 3 years. That was just what I thought I needed to do, and that's what I felt most comfortable with at that point in time. In hindsight, I wish that I wasn't. In hindsight, I wish that I let my body naturally deal with it. So at this point, I no longer take the antiviral. I was taking it only when I had an outbreak, but now I no longer take it. I just let my body heal on its own. I feel that there's millions of people out there that are able to deal with it. So why can't my body do it? And that's just where I'm at. Thank you for the hearts, my friends. Someone saying tea tree oil applied directly has worked wonders for you when you feel an outbreak. Me as well, especially when I was pregnant, I would use tea tree oil. I would dilute it with another carrier oil like coconut oil, and that was amazing for me. Can you prevent spreading? Yes, there are ways to help lower the risk of transmission, like taking the antiviral that we're just talking about. That lessens the transmission rate by 48%. You can use condoms. You can use protection. That helps reduce the transmission. You can, like the supplements I have linked or talked about here in my store, supplements can be really, really helpful, natural supplements. And there's just, a lot of ways. It's really what works best for you and your partner. What are you guys going to find that is the best? The link to the FHC community is on the Reddit page. Okay, thank you. Do you have to take Lysine every day to prevent herpes outbreaks? You do not have to take anything every single day. This is a supplement meant to supplement your diet. I personally take it every single day, but there's many people I talk to in my community in the secret society that are like, I don't take it every day, or I only take it when I feel an outbreak, or I only take it when I'm traveling, or I only take it when I eat a food that I know is going to trigger an outbreak. So it's going to be up to you. For me, it's non-negotiable. For me, I take every day. I do suffer from genital outbreaks. But for me, for someone that has oral outbreaks, I don't suffer from a lot. I've had 5 in 21 years. So that's not a lot, How's my ex doing? I'm not sure. How's your ex doing? How about almonds? So when it comes to nuts and dealing with herpes outbreaks and dealing with nuts, I would try it out and test it out. Something that I was looking at, so over the holiday season, my husband went to Costco and had way too much fun there, but he brought home these cashews, and they were in this beautiful glass jar. It wasn't the normal plastic jars, in this beautiful glass jar, and they were like super good. So I looked at the back, and they were cooked in peanut oil. With that being said, we just talked about how peanuts can be a huge trigger. So I would look at the nut and see, try it. Maybe you can have 5 almonds and you're fine, but maybe 25 almonds triggers an outbreak. Maybe you can have almonds every other day. Cool. I like to buy those nuts from Trader Joe's that are in little packets. I used to, when I was working corporate America, I'd throw them in my purse. I'd throw them in my desk. Those were great for snacks. I'd throw them in my car because I traveled. I was in sales. Like, those were great things to keep in. But for someone, you might look at it and go, no way, that's going to trigger an outbreak. So try it and see. Is lupus connected to HSV? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know enough about lupus. I do have a friend that has lupus, but I don't know enough about lupus, so I apologize. Are mat herpes the same? Can they spread the same? So mat herpes, that's like wrestling herpes. Like wrestlers get that a lot. It is a form of herpes. Yeah, it is. It's herpes. So it just depends on what type it is. Like there's type 1, type 2. Chickenpox is herpes. Epstein-Barr, if you've had mono, it's herpes. So yeah, they're all herpes. it's interesting you bring that up because I'll watch sports. Like I'll watch even cheerleading, right? And like if someone has genital herpes but doesn't have it genitally, like let's say she has it on the inside of her thigh, and like you're all up there cheerleading and like, you know, you're there. You think about wrestling or you think about sport, any type of sport where you're in someone, like you're in it, right? It can all be transmitted that way. Does HSV1 turn into HSV2? No, it can never change like a type. It's either HSV1 or HSV2. It doesn't transmute into something different. It's not like stage 1 HSV. It's going to be HSV1 forever. Where can I test to know if you're positive or not? That's a great question. So you would want, if you have an active outbreak, you'd want to go in and get that swabbed to the SAP as soon as possible. If you don't know, like you have no signs or symptoms, go get a blood test. They're going to ask for the antibodies. You're going to look at the antibodies to see if it's in your blood system. If it is in your system, then most likely you're positive for it. If it's negative, you either have not created antibodies. Like let's say you just were intimate with somebody that had herpes and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out right now. If you went and got tested like today and this happened last weekend, you would most likely test negative because your body hasn't had the opportunity to make antibodies. It can take up to 3 months. I've even heard of people taking years for the antibodies to be created. But I would say all this to your doctor and let your doctor know what's going on. HSV1 can be oral or genital, and HSV2 can be oral or genital as well. Is one more contagious than the other? I don't think so. HSV1 is more prominent because it's most people have it orally, and so our mouths are exposed. If our genitals were exposed, it would also probably be equally as prominent. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. Everything I talked about, the supplements are in the shop here on the app, also linked for you, and the free ebook is also linked for you as well. I was wondering what chapstick you recommended. It is part of the Secret Society Wellness products. I do have all sorts of products. I have recovery soaks. I have rescue balms. These things are specifically created for people living with herpes. And I created this company in 2019. So it has helped many, many people, but the chapstick that you're specifically talking about, it's all linked for you here. You can check it out. And it's the Secret Society Wellness product line. They're awesome. They really are awesome. Like they're the best. They're thebalm.com. So many cool things. We even have a lube. So awesome. All right, guys. I appreciate you. I thank you for joining me. It means a lot to me. You're saying the rescue balm is a miracle worker. Yay, I love that. Love that. I love hearing that. Good. I'm glad. We have a new product out too. It's the Herpes Fix-It Salve, which is Manuka honey based. Ooh, that's also awesome. All right. It's all linked for you. Check it out. I will see you all soon in the next live. Thanks for joining me. You can also check my stories. I post daily in there as well. All right. Bye, guys.